Sacred Rites has 3 to 9 members of a cult trying to sniff out the outsiders. Story Machine Games provided this in exchange for an honest review. Each round, one rite will be the focus of the ritual. Players give a clue about the sacred rite that signals to believers that they know what the rite is, but doesn't reveal it to the outsiders infiltrating the cult. Players are given a random envelope with the crown face up. On the reverse is either a window or the word outsider. Use 1 believer envelope per player, plus the 2 outsiders. 2 random envelopes won't be distributed. Player 1 takes a face-down rite card, slides it in their envelope, then secretly peeks at the other side. If they can read the rite, they're a believer. If they cannot see the rite, they're an outsider. Carefully remove the rite card and slide it to the next player. After passing the rite card, take the top tradition tile, then secretly look at it. These outline an aspect of the ritual to use in your clue. After all players have passed the rite card, each player, in any order they wish, reveals their tradition tile and presents their ritual clue. For example, player 4 decides to go first. They say, "The movement of our sacred rite is slow." Everyone else responds, "Ah, the movement of our sacred rite is slow." You don't have to use a word. You can make a sound or even some sort of motion to depict the clue. So what is the rite card? In this case, it's turtles. The clue hints to other believers that player 4 saw the rite, but outsiders might not realize that the clue specifically refers to turtles. Outsiders may wish to go first to throw everyone off or gather more information before they give their clue. After all players have given their clues, count to 3. Point to someone you believe is an outsider. If you think there aren't any outsiders, point up. Reveal the envelopes, then give point tokens. 2 points for correct guesses, 1 point if you were trustworthy and nobody accused you. Now outsiders are allowed to guess what the right card is. If correct, they also earn 2 points. Collect and shuffle the envelopes and tradition tiles, then begin the next round. You may be a believer one round and an outsider the next. The first player to 13 points is the master of ceremonies and wins. Peek at the right card, give clues or bluffs, and find the outsiders. That's Sacred Rites. The number of people that your table can see can play Sacred Rites. In fact, players don't even need to be at your table. I'll talk more about this later, but this game can be easily played over Skype, Discord, and so on. Including setup and takedown, games take around 35 to 45 minutes. This does depend on number of players and the players themselves. An experienced 6-year-old, possibly even 5-year-old, could handle the rules, but will struggle with bluffing and understanding the rites and traditions. By 8, most kids will probably be fine, but you might have to take out a few of the more difficult cards and tiles. I personally like this most with 5. Because it's a social deduction game, it works best at higher player counts. 4 is good, and it's surprisingly fun with 3 people, but more is better. In our third game of Sacred Rites, I started the first few rounds as an outsider, but didn't earn many points because someone, usually Dad, kept suspecting me. I was a believer in the 4th round and drew the food tradition for the 2nd time. I drew it again, the next round, then again. The round after that, Grandma said something like, "Why even draw a tradition? You know what it's going to be." Yep, food. Again. Dad reshuffled the 12 tiles, and I drew one. Food. Seriously? We were all laughing so hard. Even though Mom ended up winning, we all had fun. Sacred Rites' rites are standard cards, but the envelopes are thick cardstock, and the tradition tiles are wood. The envelopes might actually be too thick. It can be a bit fiddly to get the right inside, and you need to be careful to not reveal it to yourself or others while struggling. Unlike in some social deduction games, there are many ways to score. This gives everyone a part to play each round. For example, people weak at bluffing but good at deduction can still win. It's very clever. In addition to our family 3-player game, we played 3 games online. One with Grandma, one with our friends Ariel and Norm, and another with just Ariel. This was a pleasant surprise and means that this can hit the table over other social deductions we enjoy, such as the Grim Masquerade. The more players, the better. Outsiders can learn more information, watch believers accuse one another, and possibly get away. Then again, you've more fingers pointing at one another. It also means more ways to gain points, like I mentioned earlier. Despite this, the game scales surprisingly well. The game length is perfect. 13 points seems like a lot at first, but in just a few rounds, someone will be halfway there and you're sitting there with a single point. A few rounds later, you sneak in and steal the lead, but maybe lose in the final round because you were a bit too suspicious. Sacred Rites is the social deduction game with bluffing, lots of laughs, and replayability thanks to the combination of players, rights, and traditions. Because you need to actually come up with clues and then use your deduction/guessing skills, it helps the game feel fuller than, say, One Night Revolution, where you're really just following a card's instructions. That and the fact that this works well at lower player counts means it sits right behind the Grim Masquerade as my top social deduction game.